that's what matters.
So do you remember?
I'm very round in the face because I'm chubsy. So like my concern is I'm just gonna be like one of those like big
Like
butter
a cue ball?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that'd be kind of cool. Bald look kind of is working for women these days. It's just
It is,
I think
but
we're
not
not
women
used
like
to
me.
it.
You'd
There's
be
some
like,
women out there.
well, you
Like,
could carry it, Claire, because you'd be like a total bruiser with it. You know what I mean? All you would need is like a Cockney accent and then start shaking people down for money.
I mean, a face tat here, a few tats there. Like you just play the part.
You know what? Ben's right. I'm not gonna shave my.
If you're just tuning in, that's where I'm starting. If you're just tuning in,
I say
You know
go
when you
for
think
it, Claire.
discussions are just among friends, and then your friend owns like a podcast, and you
then it becomes content.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast podcast. I said that really professional. I like that. I'm here with my two best friends. Say hi to the people, Claire.
Hi, people.
Say hi to the people, Mitch.
Ooh,
I like that one. Wait a minute. I like that one. That's a
Some
throwback.
disturbed up in here.
We
drowning deep. No, it's not.
This is episode 10 of the Milk and Toast podcast. How are you? I know. They said we couldn't make it.
Did
They said we
or
couldn't
did they
do
just not
it.
care enough to
Mitchell,
even
I want to
comment?
suck your dick. Sorry. I didn't know where I was going with
A
that.
little much, buddy.
I know.
A little much.
I figured we should be much because it's the 10th. My fault. But maybe that's just what I. You know what? Let me stop
Oh,
talking.
bro, that was a lot.
You're at a 10 right now, Mitch, and you need to go back. You need to go back to episode 7 where
Are we
you
on
are
10 yet?
in real life. Yeah, that's what you really need to say. Are we on 10 yet? How are you guys today?
Honestly, like we were saying earlier, drain. I told you this Mercury retrograde bullshit. I think is actually getting to me. I'm fucking just out of it. It's been a weird week for me. Go ahead, Claire. I'm sorry.
You don't need to be sorry. It's okay. I don't. Shut up.
Thank you.
Sorry.
What? What's funny?
You guys, okay, I asked how they are, and I know how they are. They look like death right now. Like everybody,
saying that.
everybody
Don't be saying
looks
that to
like
people.
the scene at the end of the Avengers, or like they're eating like in the broken
Oh God,
place.
I wish.
Like,
That's all I want to
how
do.
we
I
all
just
look.
want to sleepily don't eat some
Yo, don't
food.
be saying we ugly. Me and Claire are
We're-
beautiful.
No,
Don't be
we're
talking
like all
reckless.
eating. It's been rough. It's a rough day. Like I didn't even tell you guys what happened to me today. Like I've had a rough day.
All right, yeah, we didn't even get to talk about it.
I know you guys don't care about me. It's okay.
Don't feed into it. Don't feed into it. Don't give him that.
She almost said she cared about me. You saw that? She almost did. It was close.
Don't give it to him, Claire. He doesn't deserve it. We're gonna
It's
make him
like-
work for it.
A rare lion spotting. My emotion for Logan. I don't know. I got a concussion last night, so
Right.
if I'm just talking shit or I just, collapse on the podcast, don't mind me. Just keep enjoying the show.
You'd be like Australian John Henry. You gave it your all, and
What are we talking?
Look, I'm here. I committed. I made a promise. I showed up. It was like an hour late, and I look like death reheated, but I'm here.
Yeah. Episode 10, baby. Baby. Claire, is Ben home?
No, not anymore. He
Who
was.
do you have as emergency contact?
us. Us.
And my auntie and you guys.
Oh, no, we would
gotta-
need to. He says
Just
us,
so you
and then
know.
it's like, who are we going to contact, though, Logan?
Ben?
Tell me.
Ben,
Oh, you have Ben's number?
we have the internet. We're on the internet right now. That's what we're doing. What do you mean?
You're right.
I guys know. Where are you from, Mitch? 1995? Like,
We're not going
Oh,
to
you
talk
got
about
no-
where my soul originates from. We're going to move
Oh,
on.
wow.
Mitch is like,
But it's not
Mitch
here
is-
for your hippie shit today.
Claire. Mitch is like, hey guys, I don't know if you've seen this new movie, but I really like it. It's got Rosie Perez and Wesley Snipes. It's called White Man Can't Jump. Like he's like that's the.
Logan, where did that come from?
Yeah,
that was
what?
hilarious. But what just happened?
Context
What is
for that?
happening right now?
Mitch,
Oh,
no,
man.
I'm supposed to say what's happening. I'm supposed to be confused about the chaos on the podcast. You can't push me out of a job.
We gotta stop getting so possessive of our jobs. Like,
We're
think
very
that, Logan?
possessive
I
of
was
our
listening-
personalities, our pod personalities.
yeah, I was listening to the pod like literally last night. I can't remember which one I was listening to. The most recent one, I'm pretty sure, or maybe the one before. I can't remember. I've listened to both since the last pod. Anyway, I was listening, and Mitchell got really mad at me for hyping you up.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's
Logan
right.
up.
That was the last one. Yes,
Yeah, the last one. And
Shit,
he
which
got really
one
mad at
though?
me
Which
for
I hype you up for a lot
it's
of
the
things.
one you haven't heard. That's the one.
No, but the
for
one
you.
that you got mad at me for hyping up Logan.
Oh,
You're
right,
like, you're not allowed to do that. That's my thing. And I'm like, you did that for me though. I'm allowed takesies.
I did it for you. That doesn't mean you can do it for Logan. You get to do it for Logan.
Oh, I'm only allowed to do it for you.
Exactly. Or yourself. Or most importantly, Claire, yourself, but never for Logan.
Damn.
You know, we gotta like make sure Logan doesn't, kill himself. What's going on with you, Logan? Why are you so sad?
Suicide trigger warning. That should come before the mention.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Might be.
Did we have any numbers for suicide hotline on the
We
on the
did
show?
the mental health episode. It's all right.
Yeah, if you go back to episode 2, I did put one down for suicide awareness.
No,
So-
no, make the reference. Make the reference. We just mentioned suicide. It's not a joke. It's not a game. If you're
No,
ever
it's
feeling
not
that
a
way,
joke.
go seek some help, man. Your life is always worth living.
Always does this thing, right? Where he says, no, it's not a joke. And I hear it back on the pod. I listen back to it and it sounds so genuine.
Entirely
and nice.
like a joke.
But
Oh, no?
it's not like
Okay.
a joke, but I can just see it in his eyes, and I'm like eye to eye with this guy. He doesn't give shit at all. He don't give two fucks.
You didn't even say that
His
out loud.
voice, he can just do his voice to sound so caring, and so now listeners, you will never know for sure when Logan is genuinely being honest or genuine,
Damn,
like
Claire.
the rest of us.
Damn, Claire.
I mean, I don't know. As
You
somebody,
can't even deny it.
What do you mean you don't know, bro? You're supposed to
As-
say no. Oh my God.
no, because no, I'm not gonna say no, Mitch. I'm real shit. I mean, as somebody who's been through rough patches in his life, with maybe I take myself out. I know, I'm just yeah, I guess we'll put the thing on. So.
And
It's
Mitchell,
you know what it
face
is.
was
No, you know what it
like-
is. It's like when you've been. It's like one of those things where when you've been through it, you're and you hear other people be like, "Yeah, post the hotline." It's like, oh yeah, whatever. It's
No, I
where
get
was
that.
where was the hotline when I was thinking about cool,
No, I get
Okay.
that.
Anyways,
I've
this
is
been
dark.
through some things.
Wow, do you know what you just said, you asshole? You literally was just I didn't have no hotline for
I
me,
know.
so everyone deserves to die. Fuck you,
Yeah.
bro.
I didn't
You
mean it
have
like
hotline
that.
You know
now.
what's super
I didn't mean it like
frustrating?
that. No.
You know what's super frustrating?
Mm.
When you Google and all Google gives you is just suicide hotlines and
we're editing all of this out.
That is not frustrating
This
at all.
is not good. We are in a dark place.
I think we're in a great place. First off,
And we need
I
to
think we're in a
move
really honest space
No,
right
it
now.
must be bad.
We just need to be comfortable being vulnerable. Okay, it's okay to be vulnerable.
You know how much
I just
stuff
don't-
I gotta bleep out now? Just
Yeah, the bleep in the second last one was funny when I was like, isn't it this place?
Oh yeah. I just heard that
In
today.
Florida.
I just heard that today. He's like, don't be
He's like,
mentioning.
Why?
I was like, oh, those beeps are spot on too. It'd be like, and I was like, oh, that's well placed.
no, that's well placed. Yeah. I mean,
That editing
I do
skill,
kind of
dude.
know what I'm doing, so it's that. There's
The
that.
beep is
Yeah,
really
sure you do.
abrasive. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah,
I was listening. I was like,
one moment it's podcasts, next moment it's an entirely it's gone. There's a deleted section of podcast, and the podcast lets you recklessly
I
know.
noticed that too. I was like, excuse me, didn't I say more on this subject?
And it was like, erase.
I like how you guys actually notice what I cut out, and it's so funny because
100%.
I mean, I
Not
try
all
to
the
do
time.
it. I try to do it so seamless. Like it just be like, doot, doot, and like.
Yeah, but we were there. Also, I
know.
remember stuff I said, and I'm proud of it. And then I'll get like listen to it, and it's gone, and I'm like, excuse me.
No, I'm really envious of you for that, Claire, because I can only do it sometimes. Other times I'll be like, what did I say?
If
Like,
I didn't edit the podcast, it'd be like 5 hours long every
No,
week.
I understand why you do it. I'm not mad. I'm just like could have edited out more Mitchell stuff, but still. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We did talk about shortening it though, right? We said we wanted to shorten things up because we was getting too
last
long.
one was like 2 hours and 60 minutes.
And Logan, we dead talked about that and haven't done a single
Okay,
thing.
here's the thing. Last episode was so long, and I know last episode was like a super episode, but last episode was so long because like y'all had really big, in-depth stories, and then we had like 3 really important subjects, and like in order to like keep all that together and then not make anybody like bored, I had to keep the fun bits in. So it's like it was like 4 hours, and I still cut down like an hour out of audio. And that's like the other thing. It's like super hard to cut like an hour out of anything that you've ever recorded. Like to cut down something like from 30 minutes, like if somebody said like they needed to cut down something from an hour and then they need to make it to 10 minutes, I'm like, that's impossible. Like what is it that you recorded? Because that's like the whole thing and you're just gonna miss everything, you know what I mean? And it's so just hard to like do that, especially when you're like talking about really big important shit. Like we was talking about like I could have, like, if anything, I would have cut out the COVID vaccine part, but I felt like it was so important because like not only did we talk about how Mitch's journey through like, you know, his vaccinedom, but like
I did that, bro.
but like we also talked about like the effectiveness of vaccines, and you know, so people could like, you know, at least dip their toes into like the information. So I wasn't gonna cut all of that out. Like that would have been like, you know, that would have been all, you know, I think it would have done a disservice.
I'm not saying that it's not hard, but you are doing it, and like we do have to figure out. I'm not saying I even mind because we do have good content in there. To be honest, all of it in there is good for the most part. From what I've been hearing, every time I've been hearing, I have people listening to it telling me like, "Yo, this is actually really dope." But it's just like, nonetheless, it's still fucking long, and most human beings have short attention spans. It just is what it is. I'm sorry.
Well, like I say every time, is that like, you know, when you listen to the show, just put it on in the background.
I know, and that's true, but it's just like still, even in terms of like, well, let me not say promotion, but like getting more listeners, someone's more apt to like want to listen in if they look at it and they don't see a long like timestamp on it. If they're like, yo, what's here? Oh, it's only like an hour or so, which I don't think we'd be able to get to an hour. But my point is, oh, it's only like an hour? Oh, okay. So they'll see like 2 hours and get intimidated.
The show will probably never be an hour.
I know. No. And we shouldn't be looking for that because I don't think it has to be that short. I'm just saying like we should.
Claire said I wish.
Nah, I don't
I'm on
even
the
think
team.
I wish.
It's too fucking long, to be honest.
You are?
Oh yeah.
It kind of is. It can't be helped. We have good content,
I do
but still.
other stuff when I listen to it. Like last night, I was doing the dishes while listening to it. But even then, I was doing the dishes for an hour, and we were still just yakking on and on.
Facts. Which is true though.
Well,
I listen to it at work.
For
So if it wasn't for
everybody
the fact that
listening
days
at
are long.
home, for everybody listening at home, listening to shit on our own podcast right now.
Whoa! Why you gotta take it? Yo, someone's a sensitive
We too
nanny
believe
right
it's
now.
too long.
Well, apparently 2 out of the 3. So.
Do you want to edit this shit for free? Like when you're good at editing? Like if you're an actual editor and you want to do this for free, come at it. Otherwise, shut up.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you.
Because I still understand that. Like Logan hustles like no one else. He works damn hard. So
Oh, thank you.
you don't like it,
God,
then
don't give him
come
his
at us.
credit. Don't give him his credit, please.
man.
Everyone
That's
knows
so
he's doing
sweet.
his
I
job.
give him a sprinkle of love every day just to make sure that he's not like
I know. It's like it's
he's
like
not
I'm
a
a
dying
cactus.
plant.
It's like I'm a
Yeah.
cactus. She just like spritzes me, you know?
Listen, Claire, I need you to understand. Logan's in basically phase 3 of his 6-phase rehabilitation process with me, okay? Stage 4 being me getting him to Brooklyn to, you know, understand himself more. You know what I'm saying? But I need you to stop treating him him like this. You want to give him these compliments. He's gonna regress back to like phase fucking 1.
What was
and
one?
I was dealing with that in college. You in college, motherfucker.
All right, cool. One was college, but what was 2? Was 2 like crushing depression? Was that you? Because I need to know who the fuck up about that. Like,
okay, Logan. Now I understand you're angry, but for character development and plot,
I'm coming to Brooklyn to fuck you up.
Which is actually stage 5. And then I come out and it's like, Mitch, why are you fine? It's like, I've had worse. I've had worse. But, once again, for your rehabilitation, how do you feel? Great. I know. You're welcome. Walks away.
You're welcome.
What were you going to say, Claire? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, my fault.
I was just going to be all like, I met Logan in stage 2. So
She did.
our whole friendship is so much different to like a 6-step
Hey, I
plan.
used
Our
phases,
friendship
not stages.
Sorry, my bad. Fuck, God. I
No,
don't know.
he used
Look at
stages.
this.
He just
No,
fucked you up. He just
I said phases.
No, you said stage 2.
No, she said stage 2. I said
Well,
phases.
you know what? When you listen to this in like 3 weeks, you'll hear it. So
that hurts my feelings so much, man. All right,
See,
you
the
know
other
what?
part of
You
our
know what? Be that
friendship
way.
is I kind of love Logan's bitchy side. Me and Logan can just talk for hours, and we're not even talking about anyone in particular. Like, I just see him as one of those friends where you just sit on the bus next to, and we're like, that shirt. Who would wear that hat? That hat is the
Fucking
most
Golden
stupid
Girls over
fucking
here.
looking
Oh
thing
my
I've ever seen.
God.
Yeah, Logan's my bitchy best friend. Like, that's how we go. Honestly, he's my gay best friend that isn't gay.
that's fucked up.
That's a good place to be. In terms of friendship.
That's a good place to segue to what I wanted to talk to you guys about, which was I wanted to talk to you guys about like masculinity.
Oh, yeah, right. I was like, you didn't want to talk about gay best friends. I was like, you never mentioned that.
The level of confusion that Mitch is afflicted with today is astounding.
Bro, Mercury retrograde,
I'm the one
bro.
with the concussion,
I'm off.
and
Yes.
I might be going
and
through a
Mitchell's
spiritual
just
concussion,
going through
Claire.
it.
You don't understand.
You just have
I've been feeling weird all week.
You guys know how, okay, people are going to hate me for this one. You guys know how, like, when girls, like, live together for too long, they kind of, like, cycle up?
I mean, Claire's face. Okay, good. I thought I was like, oh shit, Claire, is
Yeah,
really okay?
I got excited because I worked out a hack with my. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's stupid. If I tell you, you'll just laugh at me.
Sure.
I'm glad for you regardless. I'm happy.
But yeah, that is true. My whole.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to get into that. That's gross. But yeah, it's true.
Isn't it funny how hormones work?
I was going to say, it feels like every week when we come on the show, like, our stupidity cycles, like it was like we're just all like dumb up together, like it's just and it's so funny because like Claire's the one with the concussion, but like Mitch is the one with the memory loss, like it's just
bro, because we are helping her heal, bro. We're all connected beings. Claire got a concussion. She needs to get better faster. We're gonna take some of the pain upon ourselves to help her get there. Yeah. What did I just say? Because I have memory loss.
I'll swap you blurry eyes for memory loss.
Anyways, let's talk about like positive masculinity and what that looks like. Like, what is that? Like, what should that look like? To be honest.
Well, I mean, so if we're talking about
you're so far away from the microphone, Mr.
Oh, sorry.
Chipman.
No. I didn't mean to do that. I was just doing something. But we have the role of protector, and so getting secure in yourself and being able to overcome, things in your day to day that you may fear, and getting to task to get shit done, or just being there in moments where someone needs a helping hand, or someone needs someone to stick up for them. That's a very positive masculine image for me. There were men in my life that could be like very stern and they get like very tough, but it wasn't about putting someone down. It was about lifting someone up. Mm-hmm. It was about protecting someone in a moment from potential like abuse, whether it be like verbal, or just mental or physical or anything like that. And that's a very, positive masculine, image. That's what we should be doing. You should never be trying to put someone else down for your own advantage. You should always be trying to lift someone up so they could be their best.
Right.
You know what I mean? in a very, very forceful way sometimes if you got to, and that's what it is, because it's kind of like it's that energy. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it's that very powerful, strong energy that goes out into the world and moves things. Like there's no just letting it happen. I become an effect on the world itself in one way to move things in the way that I want and that I design. Now the question is, do you want to do that to hurt someone, or do you want to do that to help someone? And the positive masculine type is the type that's going to be doing that to help someone, and that's how it should look to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that. That's no, for real. That's a really good definition. Thanks. I think
it's tough. No, for real, it is tough. But like that's just me expressing it the best that
because
I can.
I think what you're describing is like you're describing like what you should do as a man, like with your power and what you should do with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
so like turning it into something that's not positive for just yourself, but for everybody else around you. I agree with that. I really vibe with that. I like that,
bro. That to me, that's what it's supposed to be, you know. Because we always do look at things from the negative side, but when you look at our societies and how, you know, they've grown, that was the image you were supposed to aspire to. That was the ideal. You're supposed to be, you know. So we're in our village, you know what I mean. Let's say we're in a Kung village in South Africa with the Kung people, and it's like they have an entire structure. But if you're the man there, like you are supposed to carry yourself a certain way and be there for your people, and as positive a way as possible. You know, they're the ones that go out and hunt. You know what I'm saying, to bring back food and provide for everybody who needs, but they don't have ego about it. And even in the village, there's a checks and balance. And I'm talking about, you know, the actual Kung people, you know, in South Africa region, some of the earliest cultures that we have as example in humanity in general. But like, there was no ego involved. It's like that was just the role for you because you were capable of doing that. You know what I mean? And they hunt with these poison-tipped arrows, and the only reason the women weren't playing that role, because otherwise it's pretty egalitarian, is just because, you know, they were seen, you know, as the people who bring children into this village, which is very important, and you want to protect that. So there's no reason to endanger them on that level. But otherwise, it was a checks and balance. Hunters brought in the food. Village was thankful, but also reminded, you know, the hunters not to get too much into their heads.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because everybody's got to still work together for everything to succeed. Like hunting brought in only a specific amount of, you know, the actual caloric intake they had. It's just the protein that they brought in was so, you know, vital.
What do y'all think is the problem now about like masculinity? Like, why do you think that, in a way, toxic masculinity is so strong in our society versus like a more positive form of it?
Remember the conversation?
Wait, hold on. Yeah. Go ahead, Claire.
I just think it's because it's become normalized. I think.
Yes.
I don't. Sorry, my brain's just not working. I had this bit.
You're all right. Take your time.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I think over the years it's just become normalized, and it's not just. The weird part for me is back in the day, everyone talks about not everybody had this sort of level of toxic masculinity like we have and what we've had in the past in some places. For instance, like in the Norse, like kind of history, they were very like equal, and a lot of African history, it was very equal. Even in some Chinese and East Asian histories, it was super like equal between men and women, even to the point where women were above men. So I think it's just really, I think when we've come together more and more, it's sort of like become this thing that's been, I feel like I'm just talking bullshit, but I genuinely, like, I'm going somewhere, but to explain myself, I'm just going in circles.
Where are you trying to go with it? Let me help you.
I'm going with the fact that I think when we started to become more connected between us, the more toxic masculine areas affected the other areas to the point where it like became what it is today. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I see what you mean. Yeah. It's like certain things were learned from this place, and certain things kind of caught on, and overall things just spread, almost like
Also,
a disease.
I'm not trying to get down on anybody's religion at all, but I do believe Christianity and Catholicism,
Catholicism?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Really did play a part in that. Even if you're not a misogynist now and you believe in those things, back then it was, you know, kind of the norm in a lot of Western culture for that whole, like, wife, 2.5 kid, 2.5. You know what I mean? The wife, the kids,
It's
the picket
two in a
fence,
really short one, you know?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying, though?
No, yeah,
Like
yeah,
the kids,
yeah.
the wife, golden retriever. And it was also very white, like a very white mindset, white Christian mindset
No, that's
for that
that's
to
fair.
like be a thing. And that was very misogynistic based. That was very, you know, the man works and the woman just stays home. And that's where the pay issues come into it and all this other bullshit. I don't know. I don't think it's ever really. I just feel like part of me was like, I shouldn't do this today. Like, I'm not. It's not that I'm not good enough. I'm just not
100?
here. Yeah. Like, I'm not even 2. I'm barely 1. Like, let alone 100. Like,
What are you going through? Because we kind of skipped over your concussion.
Oh yeah, we were
It was
going to
like,
talk about
I had a
that, right?
concussion today. Oh, yeah, that's great. And then we like started talking about other shit. It's like, what? How do you like? What,
I'm gonna wiki what happens during a concussion.
cool. What happened to you, though?
so what happened was last night at about 12 o'clock at night. So 12 in the morning, 12 o'clock at night, midnight. I can't remember what I was doing, but I was running around doing something. And like a few hours before that, I had a shower. But because it's winter here, nothing is drying. And I apparently accidentally made a puddle. So I don't know how the exact logistics of it, but I made a puddle. It was 12 o'clock. I'm running around. I've missed this puddle several times, by the way, because I've been running around all night, like doing stuff. And like, I've missed this puddle like so many times. But this one time, I fall and I've got this like, so I got my hallway. And then off to the left, it's like this little alcove. And in the alcove, there's my laundry, my toilet, and my bathroom. So it's like this little off-side hallway, like a mini hallway.
Yeah.
But there's like these two really sharp edges on each side of the hallway when you turn into this little alcove. Yeah, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I hope it makes sense because I can't explain it any better than that.
Right.
And the puddle is in this place. But the puddle was not put, but like, I didn't put it there on purpose, but it was there in between the two entry, like it's basically...
In the
I can't
hallway.
explain it, but I ended up falling and cracking my head and jarring my toe on in between these two these like walls that
Right.
yeah. It was sharp. It was like hard. It was really like sharp edges, basically. Not sharp, but like pointed compared to just a flat wall.
Yikes.
And I cracked my head and stubbed my toe. And apparently all Ben heard was thunk, boom, kunk, boom, and then just that's all and just me going down and then just my cry. And then he was like, all right, I'm coming. And I'm just sitting there and I'm in shock and I'm like shaking and I feel really sick and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, it's really cold on the floor, so I go to get up and I slip and I'm like crying. I just feel super like I don't know, I just didn't I think it's because I had the concussion, but I was in shock, but I just felt so weak. Like everything just felt super weak.
So did you go like to the hospital right after?
No.
How'd you know you had like a concussion?
Ben
knows
has
first aid. Yeah. That's what she said earlier.
Ben just does everything.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm learning about Ben. Like Ben does everything. He fixes computers. He knows first aid. He's like
he gets his first aid updated pretty much.
No,
It
good.
needs
It's
to be
a
updated.
very useful skill to have, actually.
Why? Why does he do that?
Oh, because he used to work in construction, and he needed it for that. And he also used to just where he's worked and stuff. He's just needed to have.
But to be honest, and shout out to the Globe, just so we're clear, knowing first aid is just a useful skill to have.
Yes, but he's certified, Mitch. Like he's a certified.
I know,
like
you
like
get certified.
It's not like he
hard.
just has like a kit in his bathroom like the rest of us. Like
it's a very useful skill to have.
Paperwork. Like
getting certified is not hard. Getting certified usually is not hard, and it's a very useful thing to have to be certified.
He's also
in first
very
aid,
just interested in medical stuff. Like he could be a doctor if he had any will to.
Ben has too many interests. I want him to have less.
Like I know, me too.
He does too many things.
No,
he knows
fuck y'all.
too many
Let him live his
things.
life, goddammit.
Next
y'all.
But in 2 weeks he's gonna be a pilot. Like, let's slow down.
Thank God, this sounds amazing. Let's hire him today. Sounds wonderful.
If he becomes a pilot, then I don't have to pay for a ticket.
Facts. This sounds amazing. This sounds amazing. I don't see the fucking problem. Y'all weird. Y'all funny to me, yo.
Anywho, so he's got first aid. So he comes out and he's like cooing over me because I'm just the biggest baby alive, and like helping me up and shit. And we go into the lounge room, and he's doing this whole thing where he's like checking for concussion, and I'm shaking. And like halfway through, he's like, "Are you in shock?" I was like, "Yeah, I think so." And he's like, "Oh, of course." So he sits me down and he's like, "I can't check for a concussion while you're in shock. You're like, it's just not working." So I'm like coming out of shock, and he's just like, I'm like, "You can go relax. Like, I'm fine." And he's like, "No, I'm not leaving you alone." Like, like he was like, "No, not until you calm down and I can check you for concussion." So that, like, and it's just a boring 10 minutes of just sitting around for like a bit, and then he comes over and I'm like, "I think I'm out of shock now. I feel less shaky. My heart stopped beating. Like, I'm calmer and I feel better." So he comes over and he helps me like look up at the light, and he's doing all this weird hand stuff, checking how my pupils are dilating and all this crap.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Yeah, you've got a concussion." And then he's like, "You need to stay awake for 3 hours. And I hope you don't puke, because if you puke, you'll have to stay awake for 6 hours, and possibly we might even have to go to the hospital." So we do this.
Well, I mean, did you puke?
No, I didn't puke.
Oh, okay. Go.
And I remember saying to him, I was like, "I do feel queasy, but I'm not fucking puking." And he's like, "Look, you won't have any control over it. Apparently, you just let it go." Like, because so the difference apparently is 3 hours means your brain has got a bruise. 6 hours means your brain is bleeding.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So apparently I just got a brain bruise.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not fine, but it'll heal.
Yeah, so I was saying, and then I stayed awake for 3 hours, and that part was also really boring because we just watched TV, and I was so tired. And towards the end of it, I was just sort of like, I was cuddling him, and my eyes shut, and he was like, "No!" He was like, "I see you." And he's like grabbing me and like, "Stay awake." And he was like, "If you fall asleep, you'll either heal or you'll die." And I'm like, "I'm not taking that chance." I was like, "Oh, this is really intense." Like,
If you fall asleep, you either heal or die. That's funny.
Yeah, because he used to tell me he used to get concussions all the time. This is my first concussion, by the way.
Oh, then you're fine.
Hopefully your last.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if Ben's getting like 20 a year, you know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that would
used to
kill
get them
you.
all the time. And the first one he got was when he was 7. And he was like telling me about how like he was just not listening to his mum because his mum was like, "No, you can't go to sleep, yada yada yada." And he was like, "But I'm 7 and it's 9 o'clock and I'm tired." And I was like, "Oh."
I'm tired.
He's like,
Well, that's too
"Excuse me,
damn
I should be in bed." I'm like, "This is my bedtime."
No,
So in
Betty
other words,
Bye
I don't
tonight.
have it that bad. I'm friggin' 26 and I got my first concussion, and I just stay awake for 3 hours. But because I have to get up early to do this goddamn podcast, I only had a couple hours sleep, and I still feel very fuddled. Also, my eyes go blurry when I vape, and
Stop. Oh my god. Oh my god, Claire. We
of lack
literally
of
talked
oxygen.
oxygen deprivation, and you're just like, "Fuck you, bro." I want to knock out today.
I'm 12 now, Mom. I do what I want.
Claire's like, do it for the vape.
Look, I need that nicotine, homies.
Get a patch,
Oh.
Claire. Damn.
Yeah, oh
They
damn.
don't
Let's
work
not
for me.
have
They
an
make me
addiction
vomit.
talk.
They
Oh,
make
that's
you
not
vomit.
Mm.
That's
They
not
gotta figure something out. You know, for people
The
that
only
smoke.
thing, like, I ingest less when I vape than when I was smoking cigarettes. So it is healthier for me, but it's still just like I'm still addicted to the nicotine, which isn't healthy. So I've been cutting back my nicotine intake through the vape. So I started off at 6 mil. I'm now on 2 mil. So I am making progress and I'm trying to quit. But honestly, life keeps dealing me some pretty rough cards.
I feel you.
And I need that nicotine. So we'll see how I go.
Okay. No shaming.
Don't
or
smoke,
anything.
kids. It's
Hey, if Truth wants to sponsor this podcast, let me know.
Truth?
Huh?
Truth?
Yeah, you know the anti-smoking people.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the
God.
ones that lied to everybody about how weed works. Like,
Yeah. But it's been a while since I didn't even
There's no
remember them.
nicotine in weed. What the fuck?
No,
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
know.
I think
They know
it was
too.
either them or Dare.
Yeah.
It was probably Dare that they had
Probably a combination of
the
both.
commercial where the girl was like flat on the couch and where the dog was talking to her. Like it was just like,
Were they the this is your brain. This is your brain.
oh, this is your brain.
And then
Yeah,
into
the
the
egg.
fry pan.
Yeah.
This is your brain on weed.
This is like some deep '90s kid lore.
Yeah,
right
facts.
here.
Like propaganda.
yeah,
Yeah. Yo.
That's ridiculous. I hate that because I think talks about addiction should be a lot more medical and like supported. I think
I would agree with you. I'm
it's
gonna
not-
have to
I don't
agree.
think I struggle with like weed being addictive as a concept, but we'll get into that's a different story. But when it comes to true hard addictions, because nicotine and cocaine have the same level of addiction quality. Weed isn't even on the same level, but nobody
No.
knows this sort of stuff because instead of giving us cold hard facts about what it does to us, the dependency, like, you know what would have scared me more in high school? I don't give a shit about lung cancer. I was suicidal. What would have scared me is I'd be dependent on something for my rest of my life. Play on my commitment issues. Like, you know, the people who are smoking aren't normal people who know that it's bad and aren't going to touch it.
No, I feel you.
You know, there's so many other tactics you can take for this sort of stuff that doesn't have
Claire's
to be
like-
scare tactics.
Claire's like, you know what I love? Nicotine. You know what I hate? Commitment. Like, it's like,
Obviously, I hate what it does to my body now as an adult. Obviously, I'm concerned about my health and I have heart problems already, and I have my own things going on. So obviously, I'm concerned about my health and I don't want to smoke or ingest nicotine because of health reasons now as a 26-year-old adult who knows mortality is a thing. But as a 16-year-old kid, I had no fucking care about the world. I thought I was
Right.
immortal, but I also wanted to die. Like it wasn't like I was in a different headspace completely, and that's when it got
What a good way
offered
to
to
put
me. You
that.
know,
I thought I was immortal, but I also wanted to die.
it's true.
Like that's the plot of a film somewhere. Like, sure, yo.
Because of you, I'm probably gonna get made into a movie from my Japanese anime fight when I was in
Okay,
5th grade.
you're welcome. Excuse you. The fuck?
Okay, you can play the part of Mitchell, my friend on the podcast.
Like, jeez. I'm sorry for helping you so much.
Like,
Gonna
thanks,
see
but I
yourself
hate
in
it.
anime and cry and never be more happy in your life. Yet I'm the bad guy, Claire. All right, all right, yo.
Honestly, it depends on who's making the anime and whether or not I'll be happy, but that's okay.
That's fair. All right. That is true.
Yeah, like
But
some
yeah.
JoJo Star cartooning.
wait,
I'm
what's
good.
JoJo Star?
It's a good anime. I like it. But the cartoon style, like the drawing style, it's a lot.
I need more.
Do you know about this, Mitch?
No. I thought she was talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I was like,
Isn't that the
Yeah,
same?
that's what I'm talking
It's-
about.
Yeah.
oh, okay. So I
Yeah.
like the drawing style, but she's right. No, she's right. You're right. I said you're right. I appreciate the drawing style. He's
trying to save it so hard. Like
it's a lot. No, I don't have to save it. If you know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you literally know what we're both talking about.
If you are a writer or a drawer, is that the word? Artist. There we go.
Artist
on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I mean, no shade. I am just.
He means it.
Very
no. Stand up in the shade. You mean it. They should draw better.
No, you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. You don't understand.
Completely like change. Like they just eyes aren't the soul of life. Their eyes are done beautifully, but it's really intense, and I don't know. It just makes me feel uncomfy. But I love the writing.
I love it.
I
love it. I love every single piece of it. It's dramatic as fuck. That's the thing. It's dramatic as fuck.
And I love the stories and the connecting aspects. I won't spoil too much because you should watch it because it's a genuinely really good piece of art as a TV show, media, whatever you call it. But
Sucks.
Yeah, I just personally get so overwhelmed by the drawing style. And you'll see what I mean when you watch it. When you watch it, you'll just be like...
Yeah, it's a huge exaggeration of itself is the best way to describe it.
Which does play into it.
Levels.
And honestly, I can't see it working without it all together. But at the same time, it's Ben's favorite show, not mine.
I respect that. It's dope.
Wow.
It's very, very interesting.
There you go,
No,
Ben.
it's not a bad
Sorry, I've talked about him so
manga
much
or
this
anime
morning.
at all. But it's
He always
a
comments
lot.
that I talk about him too much.
He does. He says you talk about him too much.
Yo, keep my name out your mouth, Claire. Signed, Ben. Mention me one more again, see what happens.
But you know what's
Signed,
cute?
Ben.
You know what's cute about you two? You guys actually listen to the show together, you know?
Yeah.
So that's cute. I like that y'all do that. That's
man, that's
nice. Yeah, isn't that dope? Yeah.
Couples who listen to podcasts together burn the world down together.
Yeah.
What? What?
Don't
What did I
even
say?
play into that. If I could, I would. He'd be my sidekick. No, I'm kidding.
You guys are so corny. I hate y'all. Just get you
Harley and the Joker, baby.
Yeah, I was just about to say, get you one of those memes like that. It's just like,
Okay, so we're going to do meme of the day. So today's meme of the day is that yellow dog who was sitting in the pit of flames in that office and goes, "This is perfectly
you
fine."
couldn't pick a better meme than that.
You don't
for the
love
meme of the
him?
day? Huh?
That's meme.
I
It
love
made
him.
sense and it works. You don't love him? He's just sitting there. He's just like,
He is
coffee.
my spirit and a
It's an
man.
overdone
Fact.
meme. It's like, you know, come on, we're on a
Okay,
show.
yeah, but
Let's
it's
have some
You know
class.
what?
It's so
You know,
nice.
I
It's
love
so
old
nice.
school memes. You know what other meme
Thank
that people
you.
say is overdone, but I love? The one with the dad in the chair. And the most well-known one is when the kid comes in and he's like, "Dad, why are there all these boys in the yard?" And the dad's like, "My milkshake." I love it. I think they're great. I don't give a fuck if you all think I'm a millennial ass like old person. I don't give a shit. I
And
got
so
called a
there are your
boomer by a
two memes of
teenager,
the
like,
day.
last year.
No! Oh,
Ain't
God,
fucking-
say it ain't so.
What happened?
And I'm like, I'm 26, you little shit.
He called you a boomer? Oh, nah, he would have had to square up. He would have had to square up. Be like, oh, nah, I know you ain't talking shit. Like, mommy, this man's trying. No, ma'am. Now, miss, I need you to understand, it ain't nothing personal, but little Billy gonna have to square the fuck up. He ain't gonna just
Did
say
y'all
it
hear?
like that.
Wait, did y'all hear like a couple months ago when it was like a big deal that like Gen Z was like saying how they didn't like jeans and like it was like jeans and side parts. They didn't like
skinny jeans and side parts.
like
Okay. That's,
You
skinny
mean, like,
jeans. Yeah, it was
childhood?
skinny jeans. It was skinny jeans and side parts. And I was like, what do you have against skinny jeans?
yeah.
I
facts.
don't, yeah, I just,
That's so
I'm
weird.
sitting here and like, I'm trying real hard not to be an old fart, but I also refuse to be quote unquote hip with the kids and get on TikTok and shit. Like, I refuse to like,
Can I say it's kind of unfair how
Do
the kids are
shit.
getting younger and younger? Because like I'm like, no, for real. Listen, you're 26. I'm 29. I'm not that old. You know, why can't I be like? And it feels like I'm middle age already. Like it's just like,
yeah, but
when
honey,
did
you
that
were
happen?
19 10 years ago.
Yeah, who robbed me? Who robbed me? Who robbed me of my youth? Like, why do I have to be an old man at 29? That doesn't make sense.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Logan. Okay. I want you to hold position. All right. Cue the cameras. We want to take that again. All right. I just want to see a little bit more hurt and pain. That was really good. It was great. I thought
I don't know.
the
There was
hurt.
plenty there.
I know there was.
Those
So, but I
eyes
think
were
we can get
wet.
more. I think we can get more. Okay. We're just gonna take it one more time. All right.
One
All
solo
right, so-
T. One solo T. Let's go.
All right. Roll cameras. speed, and action.
Who robbed me, Pa? Who robbed me?
Cut. What the fuck was that? I didn't say Tane's entire scene. Jesus fucking Christ. Why are we in fucking Alabama all of a sudden? Okay, just get back to what you know. Just do it again. Actually feel it this time and you'll be fine, all right? You're good. You don't have
Mitch,
to change
this is
anything
where
up.
I'm from. I'm from the South. This is my people. They need more representation in this film.
Why are you talking like that?
No, they don't.
No, they don't. No, damn. That's mean, all right? The South got something to say. South got something to say. Andre 3 Stacks.
I know.
South got something to say. You're going to have to listen sometimes.
They always do.
They are
Damn straight. The rest of America wouldn't exist without it.
Claire
Keep that
needs
in
to
mind.
stop because Australia, the whole country is the South. So she needs to stop. Leave us
I don't know.
alone.
I don't know if that's a fair
That's why I can
statement.
say something though. It's like I get it.
I get it. You know,
I live with a bunch of racist assholes too. You know, that's our thing.
the South isn't all racist assholes.
No, but there's a bunch of them. That's what I said.
Well, there's too many of them. That's fair.
Australia
Yeah,
is
a bunch.
basically like it's just Texas with kangaroos. That's
Look, it is
Okay,
a little different.
maybe we shouldn't make broad generalizations about
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
countries.
not,
I don't.
like let's not do that because it is different.
Are
But
there fancy
there
parts of
are
Australia?
intense
Like what's that
similarities.
like?
What?
Are there fancy parts of Australia? What's that like?
Wow.
Oh, hell yeah.
Are there fancy
Sydney,
parts
for
of
instance.
Australia? He said.
I
That's
want
what
to
he
know
said.
what
Queensland,
fancy
fucking
Australians
Sydney.
do.
Okay. All right.
So what fancy Australians do is basically just what every fancy person does. I don't know how to explain it. They're just richer. They talk nicer. They're more like the Margot Robbies and the Steve Irwins, I guess, if that makes sense. Like
Steve Irwin's a fancy Australian?
no,
Well, I mean,
Margot
he-
Robbie's a fucking fancy Australian, you dickhead.
But you said Margot Robbie and Steve Irwin.
No, I said compared.
Oh, compared to Steve Irwin.
Yes. So for my example, okay, apparently I was not clear. So Margot Robbie would be the example of the fancy Australian where she sort of talks a little bit more eloquently and is attractive.
I don't know.
And then Steve Irwin is like, although rich as fuck now, like the Irwin family, Steve Irwin was like kind of the like middle class kind of example where he just loved animals and was, you know, pretty chill.
Yeah. R.I.P.
I can't remember if he started that wildlife thing or his dad did.
I think it was his dad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought, but I couldn't remember. Because that got really famous.
'Cause
But
I think
can't
his dad used to carry him like as a baby around the crocodiles too.
He did. Because
Yeah.
there was this whole photo that was really cute of comparisons.
Bro.
It's really cute, dangling your baby in front of a crocodile. Real cute.
Like-
Yeah,
Legacy.
but Steve did the same thing with his baby and it's cute. 'cause it's
Yeah,
comparison.
it's just,
Legacy.
it's just a cute lineage.
Yo, listen. When you raise by the wild, you gotta carry the children into the wild.
But
I
what I
hate
was
you
going to
born in
say,
this
though,
wild.
before Logan's question,
You gonna
what I
lead
was
a
gonna
world
say
in
was-
this wild.
Wait.
There are some similarities. I'm just going to talk over him because he
Thank
won't stop. It's just
I'll
weird.
mute
I
him
already
in the edit.
stopped.
I'll mute him in the edit. It's fine.
There are similarities between the South and Australia, definitely, where, you know, the people are a lot, I guess, brasher and harsher, and there's lots of wildlife that can kill you, and it's
Yeah.
hotter, and just stuff like that. The difference is, I think, Australians don't really, like, we have our own, like, I guess, culture in the sense of how we speak and what our rules are. Like, I don't know if you'll have noticed, but swearing isn't that big of a deal here. Like, no one cares about swearing or cursing. Even the rich people curse, like, no one's business. Like, no one gives a shit. I mean, crap. I don't know.
What
I
happened
said no
there?
one gives a shit, and then I was trying to make it less sweary, so I was like,
No one gives a crap.
anyway, but that's just us. There is some religion aspects, and there are people who believe in God and stuff here, but as well as obviously other religions. That God's just the one. Like, my brain goes too fast because of my Westernness. But there are other religions and stuff here. But it is. I think they did a study, and it was like 60% atheists. So
Damn.
Oh,
there's that
That's
part
really
of
high.
it too. Yeah.
That's really high. You guys are basically French.
Whoa. What? Do they have a high atheist population?
Yeah, the French
do.
have a really high atheist rate. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
But we still have our churches open and stuff, and it's different to France. Like, we don't attack people for wearing their hijabs. You know?
I feel that.
Just saying. Leave these poor girls alone, you assholes.
She might have a concussion, but she's out to give everybody else one too.
Woo!
I'm still Claire.
Yes, you are.
I'm still Claire.
I'm just Claire working at like 20% instead of 100.
And somehow that's still dangerous. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you believe it, baby. You be aware.
You be aware. That's funny.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, when you were saying that, I just wanted to make sure people knew. Like, there are similarities, but we are our own culture.
Right.
We're not just Texas, but lower.
He said Texas with kangaroos.
I
Not
said
lower.
Texas with kangaroos. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
I was
And
polite.
Whatever.
Polite. Oh God. Oh God.
I was actually talking to someone the other day. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Ben, though, because I don't know that much. But I was talking to somebody. And they were like, oh, how do you reckon your American friends would go fighting a kangaroo? And I was like...
So one, these American friends that they're referring to are me and Logan, who are black. Black people wouldn't go around trying to
Yeah, I
fight
know. We
kangaroos.
don't do that shit.
I
I
don't
didn't
know
even
what makes
bother,
you think we would.
I was
We're
like,
gonna-
they wouldn't.
I say
They
black
wouldn't.
people. See, you knew the right answer. We wouldn't. Why would we go fight a dangerous animal in the Australian wilderness? I ain't got nothing to prove. Like, no offense.
It's...
Like, maybe if someone like challenged me and I was thinking it was fun at the time, but in the general day to day,
In my
I
head.
don't think so.
In my head, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, or if I've made any stereotypes by accident, but in my head, I thought Mitchell might if I dared him to.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Which would only be
Also-
because you dared me and because who
Yes.
I am. But
Yes.
otherwise,
If Logan came and he brought Sarah,
I wouldn't do it if
He
Sarah was
might.
there. I
no,
wouldn't
but
do
he
it.
would come bushwhacking with me at least. 'Cause
I'd
she
go
wouldn't
out.
go.
Yeah, I'd go out. Like
Yeah,
I
you'd come
want
out
to see
into
the
the car.
wildlife. Yeah, I like
fine.
animals. I love
The
animals.
thing is, with kangaroos, so you can be just walking along the bush and just living your best. It's sort of like a bear. Like, you can just be living your best life.
and then they'll
walking
come out of
along,
nowhere and then you're
and
done.
you'll find yourself in the middle of like, what is it called? I can't remember what it's called, but they're. I want to say cull, but that sounds bad.
It's a rusula.
What?
Kangaroo.
Are you serious?
A
Creepy.
gang of kangaroos is called a rusula.
Are you
Wait,
sure
is it
about that?
really? Because I don't like that
I'm-
word. What the fuck is that? No, I'm Googling it, you fucking loser. I was like, oh, what?
Oh, a mob.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, bro, what is up with that? Kangaroo
Not even
mob?
kidding, I just googled
I like
it.
rusula
I
better.
know.
So you can just be walking along and you can come into a mob and you better hope they don't have any babies amongst
Oh,
them.
right, because then they get protective, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden you were
How
minding
are
your
you
business.
supposed to like fight a kangaroo?
You don't.
Then what do? You just die?
You
Like
go
what the
straight.
hell?
No, you go still and they'll move past you.
You just
They
stop
won't
moving?
attack you. Yeah, if they basically front up to you, you stay still and don't do anything, and they will sort of like just wait for like a minute and then leave, usually. I don't know anyone who's been attacked by a kangaroo that's been like killed exactly, but I do know that my teacher had teacher's partner in primary school, his back was munted because he tried to run away. Like, he came up, was like, fuck, and turned around, and they like cut. It's little grey ones too, not even red ones. Red ones are worse. The grey ones are the ones that are like a little bit more docile and smaller. Red ones are huge, and that, you know, that kangaroo that's all jacked?
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, that's a red kangaroo.
Yeah.
The grey ones are like where I live. I live amongst the grey ones. Those ones are up in Queensland. Fuck those guys. But yeah, he came across a grey buck male kangaroo, and he tried to run, and it just sort of like basically hopped on him. And their nails are like incredibly sharp, like super duper duper sharp. on their little hands as well as their feet, but specifically their feet. Their feet are their biggest weapon. Also, if they kick you, they can knock you out. Like,
Yeah.
So what happens
in
after
2
they
seconds.
knock you out? Like, do they just walk off?
yeah, but you're not gonna do well. You're not doing okay.
So why don't you just like play dead in front of them? Because
I
that's
guess
what you're supposed to do with
that'll be
bears.
That'll
if
be
you
your
were
only
gonna do
option.
that, you're not gonna go wrong. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, after a kangaroo's knocked the wind out of you, I don't think you're moving anyway, bro.
Nah, like you just like see a bunch of them and you just fall down and just.
So kangaroo mob pulls up, breaks your fucking rib
they might
cage.
jump on top of you though.
They'll jump on top of you.
and then
That's
you're
not
like,
right.
Yeah.
See,
probably
that's
dead.
not. See, that's not fair. Bears
They'll jump
even
over
don't do
you,
that.
Have
But
you
they're
seen
moving away.
Revenant? Have you seen Revenant?
That's a movie, Mitch. I'm sorry.
I know, but like,
It's a
I
movie.
think it depicted modeling fairly.
Listen, it's a movie.
All right, but nah.
It didn't happen.
Are you sure? Is that not based on a true story? I was pretty sure it's based on a true story.
Man, like, I don't believe that shit.
Bro, I don't know. It looked too
believe
real.
that.
Oh, that shit
I don't
scarred
believe
me.
it. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Either way, don't get mauled by anything. Oh God, yeah.
And
No, I'm
he
good.
shot that bear. That's the other thing. Like he didn't just play dead. Like he shot it first, and like the bear was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna fuck you up right now." Like, so
In defense of the bear, I get it.
I get it.
I'm not saying he was right, but I understand.
I get it.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
but yeah, kangaroo sounds scary, bro. I wouldn't want to be. Out
Yeah,
there
that was
strapped on
terrifying. I was like,
Yeah, fine.
Yeah,
like
bro.
if you go to I'll take you to like the wildlife parks and stuff where they're a lot more tame.
no,
I don't do zoos.
Don't take us to the.
I don't do
anything.
zoos.
They're not zoos, Mitchell. They're not
Oh,
zoos. They're
right,
wildlife
right. You
parks,
saying,
like
like, they're-
reservations.
Yeah, they're
Right,
like out
right.
there.
So they are raised. They are hand raised, but it's like in an enclosed large. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it's all open. So there's no like cages or walls or even like
It's like
things.
a-
You can see everything.
It's like a reservation.
Yeah, it's a reservation, and you can just
Okay.
walk onto it. And like there are rangers and stuff that go around, but they do feed
Or
the animals.
conservation,
But
sorry.
it's yeah, they do feed the animals and stuff. But that's about as far as the contact goes. And you can even in some places like pat them and stuff. Sort of like what Steve Irwin has. Like
Yeah.
Steve Irwin is a little bit more commercial and
This is
zooey.
more like a zoo
But-
though.
Yeah, his is
Yeah.
more commercial and
Because
zooey.
you can't just like
but-
walk up to the crocodiles at his place, you know?
No,
No.
you don't want to do that either.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Um,
good. I'm good.
No, I'll take you to a reservation. That's actually a nice way to see a kangaroo without going across a wild one.
Not having your
Because even though
chest
they're
caved
still
in.
wild and being natural, they're pretty chill.
Mitch, did you wanna talk about your experience with In the Heights, this movie you never seen?
Oh, right. Thank you for giving me an intro like that. Actually,
welcome.
So no, I haven't seen it yet, and I do want to go see it. But the reason I haven't gone to see it is because I never got the chance to see In the Heights. The
Broadway
played
play?
version. Well, not on Broadway, but just seeing a production in general. I just know about the show. I just know the history and everything. But like, I was talking with some friends who had seen it, and like they described something, and I was like, "Oh no, please don't tell me they actually did that." And what I heard, I was like, "Oh, okay, well, there goes Hollywood's colorism again." And I was able to have like a little discussion with some of them with some of them on it. It was like just a Facebook post, and someone was like, "Yo, where is the representation for the darker skinned Dominican community in Washington Heights in the neighborhood?" Because of course we got the Puerto Ricanos, and of course we love them as we love all people. It's just like, if you're gonna go for representation in a community and media, of course, in a project you're doing, in an art piece.
What is that movie about, or the play, or whatever? Is that what it's about, or like what is it?
It's about the the life and kind of like the Hispanic spirit as people are living in the neighborhood as it's changing, and you get I don't remember the lead and everything, but you get the backdrop in the story of a dude noticing these changes in his neighborhood as he's trying live his life, get a girl he's interested in, and dealing with the issues that the community has to deal with. There's some real shit. The play itself is interesting, but it's like it's just funny. So we're talking about that, and it's like you kind of left out in one sense, because what's his name? Corey Hawkins is in the film, who played Dr. Dre in the NWA film. Great actor.
Yes,
it's like that's nice that he was in the film, but it's like, there's still, though that neighborhood specifically, it's very heavy in the Latinx, but also Afro, Latino, Latina, culture, and it's just funny sometimes. So when I hear it, and I was like, I hope Lynn wouldn't do that, because Hamilton just came out and that's super diverse. But I heard that and I'm like, maybe it was just that Hollywood.
Ain't they kind of light skinned in Hamilton too, though?
I mean, sure, but it's a little bit more balanced, and I'm not going to say that for Hamilton, because I think that I saw the Broadway play. I actually saw that.
I watched it. I got Disney Plus.
How could you say that? And I mean, maybe the lead, but how could you say? I mean, Burr. There's so many characters. I think that was a lot more diverse.
Burr is dark skinned.
The one Skylar's sister, her as well.
Okay.
Two of the generals in Alexander Hamilton's
one of the
party.
Generals. It's
like one. I could have sworn there was the
generals.
second dude.
Daveed Diggs. He's not.
Maybe that was him.
dark-skinned.
Maybe, but and so see, that's the thing. So Hamilton, we could at least say that. Whereas from what I'm hearing in the Washington Heights film, it was like you couldn't find, other than Corey Hawkins, you couldn't find a name. But for that's because Hamilton is still like a metaphysics piece dealing with the revolution, and the casting is being what it is, incorporating rap into hip hop elements.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Heights was more like, hey, this is the actual neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. And it's just funny, you hear that and it's like, I wonder why that happened. But it's like weird things happen in casting, especially in Hollywood. And the point I brought up was like, looks like Hollywood's doing their colorism thing, which is where they always prefer, it kind of looks like when you get to, big name Hollywood projects, they tend to prefer lighter skin tones over darker ones.
No, yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? And it was just like, I hope that didn't happen here. But it seems like that's what happened. And it's just sad because it's like we're in a time where we can freely talk about race, sex, and all those other things. But, we don't talk about that particular section of like racism when we're dealing with colorism, when we're talking about how people specifically treat shades. And that's a global thing. You could go to almost any part of the world and you'll see that darker skin tones for the most part tend to be looked down upon. I mean, in India, with the caste system they have, the lighter you were, the more respect you were given. Let's talk about DR and Haiti. You know what I mean? And the culture there. Let's South America. I mean, Brazil.
There was a thing just a couple of years ago where like if you were Haitian and you was in DR, they was picking you up off the street.
Yeah, that ethnic cleanse.
Yeah,
I remember that.
in Dominican Republic, and like just like what was it, like maybe 5-6 years ago or something?
Yeah,
so like
bro,
that
wasn't
like
even
crazy.
that long ago.
And it was just like these things that happen that you're like, this is still happening.
This is happening?
Like in this day and time, But
Asia too.
Murder knows no day and time. Murder, when it comes, it comes. True. It's like when it's come to get stabbed, it's time, So that's just that on that. But I don't know about resting. I don't know about resting our hope on Lin-Manuel Miranda. I don't know why.
No. But that's not what it's about. It's not about saying, he's the saving grace. It's just, we're just having a discussion. It's like,
I know,
why
but I'm like, what are we
happen?
expecting from him? Like, what do we need?
I don't know, to understand the community a little bit better. Like he was raised in that community.
Hamilton itself is all fucked up. Like that's what I think. You know what I mean? Like I
actually enjoyed Hamilton for what it was.
Well,
well, speak to it if you didn't. Why did it bother you?
I get what like the point is and what he's trying to do. It's just cringy to me a little bit.
Okay, no, be real. Talk about it.
No, it is. It's just like you I get using people of color in place of, the American Revolution and like. I guess
people of color were involved in that revolution, by the way. Never forget that.
Yeah, but they didn't. But it wasn't like that. No, it wasn't like that. It was not like that.
Are you sure?
Stop it. Stop
we don't
it.
have to have that discussion, but are
Stop
you
it.
sure?
Si spun.
Wow. We're not even gonna talk about that. But you'd be Logan, I'm not kidding though. You'd be surprised. We don't get a lot of credit.
That's not what
though.
happened. Like Alexander Hamilton.
No, I know.
wasn't, like,
I'm
Puerto
not
Rican.
saying that.
That's
I'm
what I
saying.
mean. Like,
I know.
That's why I said
just have to
stop
make
it.
the
Leave
point
me alone.
still. I have to make the point still, but I understand.
Not saying that no people of color like.
I know you weren't saying that. I was just making the point.
Okay, but anyways, it's just that like it's like, so in a way he's trying to make a point, but then also in a way it's like very tone deaf, you know, like Hamilton is, because like he's like doing all these songs and it's like cute and it's just, I don't know. And then like, because it's people of color in the play, like we have to ignore some of Hamilton's actual problems with race and stuff, and to make the production. So it's like, so that's what I mean. It's like even the subject matter, picking that subject, picking that person, and then it's by Lin-Manuel Miranda. I hate saying his name. You know what you're like,
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah, I hate. I'm gonna call him something different soon.
Or his name.
Why not just Lin or Manuel or Lin Manuel?
Because I don't know him like that. That's why. And I don't. And his name is long, and it's got like, I just can't say it.
Manuel
It's like
Miranda.
It's not the name itself that I can't
Miranda.
say. It's not because it's like difficult. It's just there's too many L's in it. Like, and I say that as a person with 2 L's in his
Go
name.
learn
Like,
some Spanish, nigga.
I'm not gonna do that.
God damn.
No,
I'm not
listen.
gonna do that. He says.
Actually, I would. You see how Mitch makes me like a bigot? Like,
What you mean? I make you a bigot? You mean how you make you a
You're
bigot?
gonna change his name, or it's like you told
Why?
him something else
Thank
because you
you.
can't pronounce his name.
I cannot
And
pronounce
it's like,
his name.
Well,
Listen.
fuck, dude, that's a little like not great.
You know, Lin-
Hey,
Do you mind if I call you
But I
Lin Manny
I wasn't
Mur?
gonna change his name because he's Puerto Rican. I was gonna change his name because I don't like him. That's
No, you're gonna change his name because his name is a Puerto Rican name. That's what you're gonna do. Don't sit there.
No,
and
no,
get
no,
on
no,
your
no.
own.
He's telling the truth. He was gonna change the name because he doesn't like him.
Yeah, that's-
which is worse. Which is kind of worse. I don't know. Maybe it's not worse, but still,
Like, it's not as racist, but it's not nice.
it's not nice at all. Like, jeez. But so no, it's just the reason I bring it up because I haven't even seen the movie, and I wanted to see it, and literally my hope was I was like,
seeing it too, but just on this subject, I'm just like, what do we expect? Like,
bro,
it's like,
and so exactly, and it kind of hit me like that too. I was like, oh God, of course that happened. It's like, yeah, of course we're gonna have a show about Latinx people, and of course we're gonna go with the lighter skin tones and pretend that there aren't beautiful dark shades within those same
because
communities.
when you brought it up the first time before we was gonna talk about this, like you said, like that. That's what happened, and I was just like, okay, but like he
hate
himself
that,
is a light-skinned Puerto Rican person that like writes himself into his own production. So like, what did you guys think he was gonna do? Like,
you
I don't know,
there.
still
like
cast. I wouldn't say
because
that.
somebody who like writes themselves into their own show, like they see themselves in as a part of that show. You know what I mean? Like they see that they are writing from a place of themselves, and he wrote that show. Like that's
Yeah,
his
but
show.
see, but that's not the problem. I don't have a problem with him seeing himself in the show. He should, because no one's saying those communities shouldn't see themselves in the show. Of
It's
course
not the
not.
community,
They
it's
should see
him,
everybody
though. That's
else
what I'm
around
saying.
them.
Exactly. You should also see the rest of what's going on there.
I think, yeah, I
He
think Mitchell's problem.
should, but I don't expect him to.
Well, you
I-
should start
I-
expecting them to, I think, because that's how we change. That's how, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That'd be like me being like, I'm going to write a show all about white people because I'm white. But that's not how it should work. I know it happens.
Yeah,
but
which
that's
is the
not how
problem
it
we've been
should be.
talking about.
That's not how it should be. That's what everyone's fighting for at the minute. That's not
Yeah,
how it should be.
inclusion.
Like,
I suppose, yeah, you guys are right. Yeah.
yeah, I got to include. I can include myself if I want to, but I got to include
Absolutely.
everybody else that ain't as white as me.
Yeah.
No,
I
I'm just. I guess
funny.
I'm speaking.
What?
I guess
That'd
I'm
be an
speaking
ugly
to
ass
the.
movie. It was just people that are my color. Mm-mm.
I guess
Okay,
I'm
I'm gonna
the,
disagree because anyway, I don't want to get on that.
I don't even
discussion.
know what you guys said, but I'm gonna. I was.
So it's like I'm not
That's okay.
listening.
That's okay.
No, I just didn't hear what was going on. No, I was just. I guess I was just speaking to the shock about it. It's like, where are these people? And it's just like
No,
you
it's
knew-
not
It's like you
necessarily
knew
shock,
they
bro.
weren't going to be there. So why are you mad? That's what I. that's what I feel
so,
like.
That's how
I
Logan, that's
feel.
the thing, and I get you on that. But to be fair, to be honest, it is kind of shocking because it's like it's like still we've been having this discussion amongst those communities for like, and Lynn himself, it's like you yourself know, and you know better.
Does he know?
Yeah, to be honest,
Who
I'm
said
gonna
he
give him that
knew?
credit.
That's what I don't understand.
I'm because he grew up in that neighborhood. He knows, bro.
But
Like,
that doesn't mean that like
Okay.
he's
Yeah, 'cause-
not racist. Like that's what I mean. Like isn't that
whoa,
doesn't
whoa,
mean
whoa,
that he's not.
whoa. I don't even know if I'm trying to bring it there.
I don't
per se.
think. No, I'm not saying that he's racist, but I'm saying that doesn't
You
exclude
mean no?
him from that.
I
idea,
get
you
that,
know?
and I'm not trying to say like I would exclude him. It's just it still has to kind of be like, wow, why would you? You do know better. This is what you chose, but it's like who's in the room? You know what I mean? Who was casting it?
Him,
Who's
he was in
producing?
the room.
Yeah.
That's who. That's who. That's what I'm trying to say.
I meant who else was in the room. I meant who else was in the room, Logan. Who else was also in the room?
The call is coming from inside the house.
I meant who else was in the room. Okay, Jesus.
What were you gonna say,
Probably
Claire?
people he chose, and in that instance, because it's people he chose, yeah. Like I've been trying to defend you for this last half hour. You were yelling.
Sorry.
It's all good. I tried to speak like 3 times, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let them go. Like they're obviously passionate about it. It's fine. A break in conversation. I'll pop up my little hand. Nope. All right, that's okay.
I'm sorry, Claire. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You guys just get really impassionate, and I'm just not in the mood to like contest
Fight,
right
yeah,
now.
that's fine. I
Yeah,
feel
I'm
that. I
not
feel that.
in the mood, so I was just waiting. So my thing might sound a little bit like outdated compared to where the topic's gone, just
No,
because
fine.
I've been
You're
waiting for a
good.
minute. But that's okay. My whole bit was I think I understand why Mitchell was like mad about it, and I think the outrage is like natural in the sense that like you should want that. But I also get where Logan's coming from, where it's sort of like I feel like people of color sort of expect it now. They're like, yeah, of course they didn't think about us. Like, of course.
Yeah.
But that's not how it should be. Because that
Fuck.
just plays into Mitchell's bit where it's like, no, I'm still angry about that and that needs to change and that's fair enough. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
So I could only. So the only thing I will say is it's not even to be like. I always need that in specific spaces. It just depends on the project. When we're talking about this particular show, this film, we're talking about Washington Heights. You know what I mean? This really, really diverse neighborhood. And then it's just, Because, for instance, I watch a show called Ozark in the middle of who the fuck knows. It's mostly white folk,
Yeah.
not too many black characters. I
was
don't
gonna say,
care.
I've
I'm here to
seen
watch
that
the
show. And I
show.
was like,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
No,
I
it's a
don't.
show
there's
about
no-
white people doing white people stuff.
And it's
Yeah.
like, yo,
Yeah.
that makes sense. It makes sense. Like, okay, why is I don't want to see fucking Jamal out there getting killed for no fucking reason. What the fuck was Jamal doing out there?
like
Jamal
we were
wouldn't
saying
be out
last
there, bro.
podcast, it's a very
There you go.
white concept to just be like, I'm going to go find more trouble out in space. Because
Just
I've
for no
caused enough
reason.
down here.
So it actually makes
Like,
sense.
You know?
but you know, when we're talking about in the Heights and we're therefore talking about a different community, we're talking about Washington Heights. It's like, okay, oh, we see the Puerto Ricanos. Hey, oh, what's happening? You know, it's like, okay, so where's everybody else at? Oh, dang, you only. Oh,
This is
okay,
what I
well,
mean. Okay, because
damn.
this is what I mean by like. Let's assume for a second here that Manuel knows better. I'm just
Okay,
gonna
come
say
on, you're not
Manuel.
even trying anymore. You're
No,
not
I
even
can't
trying.
do it. I can't do it. Okay, damn.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I'm saying thank you, Claire. It's not really even that hard. It's
I
not that
know.
hard.
I know my limits. I'm not Bruce Wayne. Anyways, let's say.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
it's
say-
my fault. This is a nerd cast. Okay.
Let's say he does. Let's say he does know better, right? Hypothetically speaking, right? Where was I gonna go with
He's
this?
really pushing that. Like, I don't believe it, but, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Because
shout
I
out,
don't.
shout out
I
to
don't.
Lynn. Ain't that much hate for you, bro. Personally, I just want to know what happened.
He tried. I'm so. You know what? I understand. I'm sorry,
don't hold
Mitch.
back, Logan.
Because no, Mitch.
Go.
Mitch is right, and I jeopardize his career every time I get on the show.
No, fuck you. Don't do that to me. Don't you bring that up. It ain't about that. I ain't expecting no work. I ain't expecting no work from nobody I ain't earned. Don't you do
He has
that.
to like apologize to these
No, I just
celebrities
legit
every
feel
time.
that, yo.
you get on
It ain't
the-
about that. It ain't about that. It's about keeping it real.
But no, okay, like let's assume that he knew better. Like it's just like the show is about Hispanic people mostly, right? So you got Puerto Rican people, you got Dominican people, you got Ecuadorian people,
El Salvador,
probably Mexican people in the show and things like that.
Mexicano, Colombiano.
You know what the funny thing is that like if he knew better, it's even worse if he knew better because he knows that if you put a bunch of Hispanic people in the show, like they're gonna say that like white people that produced the show and put money into the show so that the show could be made are gonna say that the show is diverse. That's just it. Like you put a bunch of Hispanic people in the show, and this is the other thing. Like this is what I hate when people say like white Hispanics and stuff like that, because there's no such thing as like a white Hispanic. There is like a such thing as like a Hispanic that's more palatable to white people, but there's not a white Hispanic. If like white people have to choose between your Hispanic ass and white people, they're choosing white people. Okay? So this is my problem with it is like when we have like these discussions where it's like, well, there shouldn't have been more like, you know, darker Hispanics in the Heist show and all this and that. It's like Lin-Manuel, he knows. He just didn't do it, okay? He didn't want them there, just like the white people didn't want them there. He made a show, and it's got one black person in it. That's it. Like, he didn't want them there. If he wanted them there, they'd be there.
I'm glad we're having the discussion now, Claire. You see how interested he actually was in the subject? He tried to play it off like he didn't care, and now he's like, oh, I've been hurt by this long enough.
No. I think he didn't care. I just think he was trying to hold himself back as to not.
Oh no! You didn't hear when we were talking about it earlier. You didn't hear when we were talking about it earlier. He was like, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. And now he's all like, I'm on this soapbox,
no,
motherfucker.
That wasn't about this. That was about the other thing.
No, he didn't
mind this conversation.
No, I'm not saying he hated it.
No, I don't mind the conversation.
I didn't think he'd be this interested because he legit was like, yeah, we'll see.
No,
what
because
happens.
to
me,
me,
you for your other conversation suggestion.
It was the angle. It's the angle of the conversation that says that, like, you know, why aren't there more darker skin tone people in this production? It's like, we know how Hollywood works. There was a movie full of Hispanics. They're gonna say, and there's barely any white people in it, so they're gonna say that, you know, well, none of us are in there, so obviously it's a diverse movie. So it's like, that's what I mean. It's like, I get where people are coming from with the colorism ordeal, but it's just like sometimes I hear the questions that are being asked, and I'm just like, I'm tired of those questions. I think
it sounds more like you're just like, are you surprised? And everyone's saying no, but they're just talking about it. No one's surprised.
But it's like, if you're not surprised, then what is the deal? You know what I mean? Like, are we just talking?
Because you still have to bring
like,
up the awareness.
No, it's not awareness at that point. Because like, you're just talking to talk. That's what I mean. You're just talking.
Not everybody not everybody understands that concept. Like, it's not like we actually have discussions on it in school or anywhere. Not as often as we should, or in the media, really. That's all I'm saying.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. It's just
because this isn't a conversation per se for me and you, Logan.
Hell no.
It might not even be a conversation for Claire. It's not even really a convo for Claire, but like nonetheless, like it's still an important conversation to be had because we don't discuss it enough.
Yeah,
and now we're talking about it.
If it's not for us, you know.
What do you mean it's not? How could it not be for us?
What is the deal about like? Well, he means that like it's not a conversation for us because like we are already immersed in that political.
Because we can understand it. We can understand it.
So it's what you're saying, you want to talk about it so that it's out there.
So listen, this is something I want you to understand about. It's real. We're touching it real lightly with this film and stuff, but like
this was
that's
my
a global
issue.
Thing that affects you on a really, really immense scale that you don't realize.
This was my same issue though a couple of podcasts ago when it came to like allies and who you pick as your ally and things like that. It's like he made Hamilton. So the fuck what? Like, you know, I mean, like, it's
I get that.
Why did we turn him into like the hero all of a sudden of like, I don't know, equality and shit. Was. You know what I mean? Like, just like
we turned him into the hero of equality.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, and then all this that he should know better and all this. Like, who the fuck said that he was gonna know better? Why would he know better? Know what better? Like, he made In the Heights first, and then they gave him more money to make another Broadway play. So he made Hamilton, where a bunch of people were rapping. He was like, you know, it'd be really cool if like none of the people in the show were white except for like King George. And it's just like, this is how people make their money. Like, I don't get it. I don't get about being mad at celebrities for like, I don't know, not being like the liberal hero that you wanted him to be. Like, shut up. He's not Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Like, it is not that like Lin-Manuel doesn't do like good charity and doesn't do like they took Hamilton to Puerto Rico and they raised like almost like $60 million. I think I saw in a documentary one time for the
cool.
island. So it's like he does good shit. It's just that like he's not like your liberal
He's
Jesus. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
No one's asking for liberal Jesus.
Doing human shit.
A little
and
bit.
humans
They
have
do.
so many fucking flaws and need to constantly be learning and correcting.
Maybe
Yeah,
he
he's just
does.
like
a human condition.
He's just he makes plays. Like, that's what he does
He's a
with his
playwright.
time. He makes like really bad rap songs and puts them in movies.
Hey, okay, so we're not going to do this about. Well, I don't know about In the Heights. But we're not going to do this about Hamilton. We're not doing this about
First
the
of all-
music.
They're
We're not
bad.
doing.
Stop
We're not
it.
doing
I
this about
didn't
the music.
say this before because
We're
I
not
didn't know
doing
what
this.
kind
We're
of
not doing this.
reaction I'd
We're not
get.
doing this. We're not doing this.
And I still don't
We're not
know what
doing
kind of
this.
reaction I'll get.
Oh,
Go
fuck.
ahead.
Claire's about to drop a
But-
bomb.
I haven't seen Hamilton. And
Oh,
I have no
okay.
interest
That's
in
fine.
watching it.
You
whatsoever.
don't need to.
Okay.
I put it on the other
that's
night
the
so I
thing,
could go to
that's what I
sleep.
was gonna
I couldn't go to sleep the other night, and I turned Hamilton.
Yeah, and you turned on Hamilton.
That's what I wanted to say. Because even like my
Yeah, that's
Australian friends are like, "Oh, it's so good," and I was like,
No, it's an
"What do you
entertaining
know
and
about
drone
American
music.
history?"
Logan, you a hater.
Like,
You a
what?
hater. What do you know about American? I wouldn't go to it for the exact perfect explanation on American history, but
Yeah,
it's an
that's why I
entertaining
was
show.
Like, okay.
You know how much news and politics you gotta watch for Hamilton to be good for you? Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
like I feel like.
Oh my god, bro! No, see, no. I'm not letting this happen, bro. You could go watch Hamilton. You'll just have a good time. It's just a good show.
It's horrible. It's a bad show. It's
Wait,
good.
why?
There's good elements of it, but that show is. I don't
Wait,
like it.
how could you saw? How could no
What
explain?
do you mean?
I don't know
I saw it, and I said it's bad.
what you said. Why?
It's called an opinion.
You know what I think? I think
I want him to
I'm
elaborate.
gonna get in trouble for this one.
Oh shit! Really? You don't got to do it if you don't want to.
No, it's the Milk and Toast podcast.
Okay, whatever that means for you.
I'll tell you later.
It's the Milk and Toast podcast.
No, I just think it's one of those things that like people have to say it's better than it is because it's like really like liberal and shit. Like, it's just like, yeah.
God, why do you always do this?
I just think that, you know.
Okay. All right,
I
that's
sound
your
like the
reason.
Republican on the show, and it's
I
fucked
know
up.
it's really crazy, bro. It's
do.
blowing
I
my
do.
mind. Nah, not really, Claire. It's funny that you
Might
say
just be
that, but
anarchist.
It's just because I want us to be better. That's it. That's it. I just want us to be better. I want us to stop like making everybody like searching for the next like Martin
Okay.
Luther and like, you know, just
You know
stop.
what, Logan?
Yeah.
we shouldn't be
This
searching.
just
We
reminds
should
me
be
of a
learning.
conversation I had the other day. And I remember it specifically because this person was just like, they were saying how they didn't agree with a lot of liberal shit lately. They were like, you know, they think it's really unrealistic and daydreamy. And they were like, don't get me wrong. I still think Republicans are fucked. I still think what Republicans are doing is like immoral and wrong and very selfish and money hungry and yada fucking yeah, like what Republicans are.
Right.
But at the same time, I just find the liberal cause to be very wishy-washy, emotional, and unrealistic. And that's what you sort of speak to, I think, to me at least, on the pod, is that sort of mentality of, you know, it's just not good enough. Like, politics at the second just isn't good enough, you know, because you're very realistic and pragmatic, but you are also emotional and understand the needs of the people. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you are a definite middle, and you are nowhere near a Republican in your harsh reviews because it isn't ignorant reviews. You know, they're thought out. They're not, oh, this is what my mama said, so this is how it goes. It's more, this is something I've thought about, and this doesn't feel right to me.
Right.
You know, so I think that's where you're coming from, and I agree with you. I think the liberal view on things is very, like, I am a lot more complex in my thought process than what they give me credit for. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the questions like, are you for the death penalty? Are you anti-war? I'm like, those are very complicated questions that I can't just say yes or no to. You know? Like, I can't just say yes or no to, because I'm taking in all considerations and all factors. Do I want, you know, innocent black people to die for crimes they didn't do? Hell no. But do I want that rapist who murdered and, you know, killed like and fucked like 50 kids? Hell yes. So I can't sit here and say I'm for or against something when I don't trust the system that has created it. And there's so many layers, you know? I was literally about to say too, the one thing I absolutely despise about this show, and I'm not even holding back, like I actually hate it, is you guys will say something. You'll say something and then expect me 2 seconds later to have heard it, thought about it, comprehended it, and have a response that is intellectually like ready for a bloody podcast.
Oh,
No.
yes, my good girl. You're so exceptional.
No.
We'll be waiting. We know you can do it. You can do it, Claire!
Not, but I'm not Superwoman. Like,
You can
fuck
do it, Claire! Woohoo!
Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, poor
I didn't
me,
think
I
so.
don't understand what's going on, especially when it comes to stuff that's important. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how to, like, deal with that, I guess, you know? Like, because I'm listening and I'm trying to learn, but when we're on a podcast, you're expected to have, like, an opinion about it. You know what I mean? But we don't ever, like, choose what we're going to talk about beforehand so I can learn up on it. Like, you don't say to me, like,
Yeah, because we real like
this
that.
week we're going to talk about colorism. You know, make sure you have...
Nope,
all
surprise,
these
it's
notes
colorism.
and shit. Like, all
Surprise,
these notes and
colorism.
shit, so that you aren't left just sitting there learning on the pod. Like, you know? Like, I know what colorism is as a basic line, but I'm still just a little white girl who's sort of like, cool, so that's what that means for you. That's fair enough.
Well, you
Like,
could still
cool.
have your
Like,
own.
you know what I
No,
mean? Like,
you could still have your opinion as a white girl about colorism.
I can, but I just don't.
You know how to
I
be
don't know how to
appropriate
explain
about it, or what?
No.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, Claire, it's like, and I don't know if you
Let
remember
her
if I told you
answer.
this
Let her
before.
answer. Let her answer.
What? I was giving her the time to answer.
No,
Mr.
let her
Rusher.
answer. No, we'll give her the time and the space. Just clear out. Open the lane. Let her shoot.
You're making this so much worse. Oh my God.
I guess I just don't feel comfortable sometimes speaking on anything to do with people of color because I have no idea what it feels like, and I don't want to be that person that treads on you. You know, I don't want to be that person. By the way, my eyes are watering, not because I'm sad, but because my head actually really fucking hurts right now, and I'm trying to push through it. Just so you know, so I don't think I'm getting emotional. I am just trying to like
All right.
live.
Drowning in your own brain juice.
Fuck. But yeah, I just feel like sometimes I just don't want to tread on anything you're saying, and I don't want to interrupt, and I don't want to get involved because it's nothing. Like, even if it is something to do with me to an extent, my opinion's already been said. You know, like not my opinion, but like the opinion of the white person has already been said. It's very loud and clear. You know, I don't think sometimes I should say anything because I don't think it's appropriate for me to say something. I do get really uncomfy sometimes, but that's just, I think, white guilt a little bit. Like, it's like, oh shit.
That's fair. No, talk about it.
That's
No,
something
seriously.
that, like, not, I don't know if it's my ancestors per se, but something that I do have to wear in myself, in like my coloring and who I am as a person, because I never had to go through that. My ancestors never had to go through that. My ancestors were the facilitators of a lot of that. Not my ancestors specifically, but like white people.
Right.
Yeah, we get it.
And I just God only knows what my ancestors did. Fuck.
God only knows what all our ancestors did. You know?
Yeah, like,
I know for a fact mines
I'm a
were
bit
beheading
distracted.
people in an island country to free themselves.
Hey.
So who knows really, man?
It's like good for them. Yeah, I feel really bad because I'm trying to have this discussion now while my brain is pounding, and I just really don't want
No,
to
I like
insult
this.
anybody.
I kind of like
There's
this.
a metaphor here, Claire. Let's just keep rocking. There's
I like
a metaphor
this.
here.
I like where we are right now. So yeah, keep expressing yourself, please.
Yeah, and like you guys keep saying you want me to talk and stuff, and I'm like, cool, but even when I said something before, what I said just was totally like I just said something, and then Logan said something afterwards, and I'm like, God, I'm an ignorant fuck. Like I was like straight up, like,
What?
straight away. I was like,
First
I
off,
don't
you can't
even know
be
what
letting
they're
Logan make you feel
talking
like
about.
that. You can't be
Oh,
letting
it's not
Logan
even
feel
personal.
like that.
It's just a topic.
Shut up, Logan.
I didn't. What the hell?
Your face was speaking, and I'm telling it to shut up.
Give me a second. I'm just gonna send Ben a message to get me some Panadol.
Claire, I did want to say one thing. I was, and I think I've said it to you before, but I keep mentioning, I don't know if you believe me, but it's like, I personally think it's great that you have those moments on the cast. I think it's great that they're genuine,
yeah.
and I think it needs to be
I just don't
said.
know how to respond to them. Like, I just don't know how to process them in real time.
Okay. No,
Like,
get
I know
that.
Logan can edit stuff out, but how much can he edit out in
Oh, he
reality?
needs to.
You know, do you know what I'm trying to say though, Logan? Like,
I do. My thing about that is because this is what I think about sometimes. Sometimes I think about the show and the makeup of the cast of the show and everything. And I think of, is this like a podcast or is this like a Black people podcast? You know what I mean?
What's the difference?
Well,
hit you with
Find that
that.
answer. No,
it's not that hard to find. I know what I mean. It was
Yeah.
like, what I meant was like, is this like a general type of podcast or is this like a Black people podcast? Is it like a podcast that like, I remember one time when Black Panther came out, Trevor Noah was like, people were like, is it like a black movie? Is it like a black superhero movie? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, it's just like a regular movie. And I listened to that and I was like, okay,
Did
shut
that
up.
trigger you?
Yeah, I felt so triggered
I'm
because
untriggered, but
like,
shout out to Trevor Noah. Thank you for
no,
triggering Logan.
Fuck you. Why do you make me so mad at celebrities? Like you just made me like so mad. Like,
it's funny. I love watching it because I know when it's coming too. Like,
yeah.
Mitchell's got this look in his eye and he's like, oh, I know what to say. And I'm like, don't do it, ho. And he's like, oh, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm like, don't do it, ho. And he's
No,
like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I be ratchet out of this bitch. You know, I just do what I want. I do what I want. I say what I want. When I want to mess with your feelings, I'm gonna mess with your feelings. Yeah. How you feel? Yeah, I did that. At my Twitter name, you know. Oh, hold up, I gotta get my nails done, but I'll be back. You know, turn up on your ass if you need me to. All right, bye, boo. Bye.
Anyways. He said that like it's just like a regular movie, and I did get triggered, Mitch. I got triggered because like Black Panther is probably like the blackest thing Disney's ever made.
But my only thing is, Logan, you're smart enough to know that wasn't his point, though. It's just you still triggered.
No, that was his point. Like he was trying to like the point was he wanted people to see the movie, but like in order for people to see the movie for whatever reason, he had to tell them that it wasn't a black movie. Like it's like why
Okay,
can't
well, that's where you're
something
coming
be a
from.
black
Why can't it
movie and
be a
just
black
be
movie?
great? Like
Yeah.
why can't something be black and then like yes, you should want
Also
to see
be
it.
good.
And also be be
Yeah.
black, also be good and be something that you want to see. It's like we literally had like Friends on TV for like 10 years and there's not nary a nigga in Manhattan and we're okay with that. But if I say black, let me stop.
I get it. I get it.
Anyways, but what
I
I
get
was
it too,
trying to
but-
say about the show
Yeah.
that I'm on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start bleeping things. I really am.
Oh, good, dude.
Well, the only thing important.
I think I said this.
Listen,
sorry, you go.
What I was trying to say, because you guys got me all riled up now. What I was trying to say about the show we're on is that I'm making decisions on the show. I hate this. Is that this is like a black people show. It's a black show. It's got two black guys. It's owned by black people. It's a black show. You know what I mean? Like, sorry. Like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And so I get where Claire is coming from. And
I feel like I'm intruding sometimes, you know?
I think,
No.
So let me
But
speak
see,
to
that's
it.
the thing, because never mind. Go ahead.
Is that I think the best thing anybody could do is that I don't mean to make it a space where nobody but black people can exist, because obviously not, because Claire's here, right? But at the same time, I do want this to be a space that like black people can come on the show, speak freely, and be well into their blackness without fear of having to be palatable to white folk, having to be palatable to anybody who isn't black. Like, I'm black and I'm Haitian. Like, good God. You know, like, well, how dare I make a show that isn't like celebratory of that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, if somebody comes on the show, and it doesn't have to be Claire, but if somebody comes on the show and they're not black or they're not Haitian, and me and Mitch start talking about some stuff that, like, you know, is just not inside of their culture, the only thing I could ask of that person is really to be respectful of what's going on, respectful of like the words you can and cannot say, and like, you know what I mean, and like, and like just be.
Sorry, I scoffed just because that's so obvious to me, but then I forget.
It's not obvious to some people. So it's like, you know, that's all I can ask is that, you know, you just be respectful of what's going on, and like if you don't know necessarily. I don't think being on the show is the best time to like hash that out like we're doing now. But like, since we're here and we're talking about it, I don't mind
you
it.
You guys asked me though. Like, you fully like.
Yeah,
I didn't ask.
I mean, I probably did. I will again.
Yeah, Mitch
and I will
asked.
promise I'm going to ask you again. We're going to have discussions about
No, but
it.
Logan, you fully were just like, let her talk, let her stop, like all that stuff. Like,
No, because I wanted you to express yourself because you was already on a roll. So I said, let you talk.
You was already on a roll.
Yeah, so I was like, no, let's keep going because we was going to talk about this and this is what we're going to talk about. So yeah, let it happen, right?
I don't have a problem. Sorry, you go.
Go ahead.
I don't have a problem with hashing this out on the show because I sort of want people to know. Maybe not to this extent, I guess. But I sort of want people to know that, like, I don't know what to do. So that if they ever hear me being weird or, like, asking questions or, like, not even saying anything at all, they know I'm not interested or I don't, like, it's not that I don't care. It's I'm trying not to intrude on your space. You know, I'm trying not to.
But what's wrong with that?
I wanted to touch on that, actually.
No, what's
Claire.
wrong with feeling like you're not trying to intrude? You know, what's
nothing.
wrong with
I just
that
don't want them
feeling?
to take it as anything else.
And I assume she doesn't want to feel like that. And the only thing I was going to
don't
say
care
to
about
that. Oh, okay. I was just going to say, like, no one should feel like that.
It's
You're
a bit
not
boring
just because it is
sometimes.
a
I'm just
black
sitting here like-
space and you're interested doesn't mean you're intruding. But I think it's hard to navigate.
No,
in this
I
year.
think depending on there
There's
are
some
times
things
and
that you guys talk about that just isn't my
that it would
business.
be intruding. Yeah,
But
Yeah, it
and
just
so
isn't my business.
intrusion is
And that's okay.
saying like kind of saying you're coming in uninvited. Like we literally
to certain
opened the
subjects,
space to Claire.
to certain things that like, yeah.
Yo, Claire, one thing you said, and I wish I had the because we actually kind of maybe do a next episode. It's one of my topics. Should talk about white guilt and fragility because it's funny because
Why?
because I care about them, but at the same time I need white people to understand they're not special. It's you guys said is like you guys understand I kind of hate the term people
What?
of color. Because it makes it seem as if white people are special when they're not. They're not white. They're colored like everybody else. But here we are with the separation that they created because they're dumb that we need to fix and absolve.
I just got told that's what I was supposed to say, so that's what I do.
No, I understand that, and I'm not even blaming you. It's just, but that's kind of why I want to talk about white guilt, because it's funny. White guilt is so funny. It's like only the ignorant, and that's on both sides. Only ignorant white people believe that the rest of the world is actually blaming them for effects they weren't born for, and only the ignorant on our side actually blame white people.
I don't blame white people for stuff that they weren't born for.
That's because you're not ignorant.
And I blame white people for shit that they doing right now.
Let me finish, damn it. I'm not finished. Fuck it.
That just so happens to be because of shit they wasn't born around. So that's
no, that's true. And I wasn't talking to that. We could get to there because we could talk about doing shit. But in terms of what we actually blame, white people for in terms of white guilt, it's like, yo, listen, we know the history. We need your help. Are you going to do something? If the answer is yes, hey, all right, welcome to the party. We've been waiting on your ass to join forever. And if you don't, it's like, okay, yeah, you should fucking feel guilty then, motherfucker. That's white guilt, you know what I'm saying?
I get that, yeah. I get that.
And then white fragility, it's like, and it's on this point, and this isn't coming at you at all, Claire, because the fact you had the discussion period means you're not fragile at all. But it's like white fragility is like, I don't know if I can talk about this because I feel uncomfortable. And it's like, oh, all right. Now suck it the fuck up before you get smacked in the mouth.
That goes back to something I said, I think, I can't remember what fucking episode, but it was the first time we touched on allyship without going into it, where I said, to be friends with somebody, no matter what race or whatever, you need to be honest. To have an open open relationship where there's actual genuine affection and, connection, you need to be honest and open. And that's how come me and Logan have survived for so long as such good friends, even though we're like halfway across.
Sounds like I went through a wasteland.
Yeah, me and Logan are like, you don't even know what we have been through.
No,
we've survived.
Oh, man. Okay.
There's ups and downs.
No,
yeah,
I get that.
But that's the thing.
That's a friendship. That's
life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. No, yeah.
If you don't have ups and downs with your friends, are you really friends?
And I am not an easy person to love. I'm not.
Me neither.
That.
So you can see how two people who are very hard to love would have a tumultuous relationship.
Doing his best to love Claire. You know what I'm saying? She says it ain't easy, but you're getting it done. Shout out to you.
But Ben is lovable.
Oh, he's so
he breaks the the dynamic.
How would you know?
He's like,
sir?
I love everybody, and I'm like, oh, you're the best.
But no, I do kind of want to bring it up because it's like we do need to talk about it because it's like, and I don't mean to be mean. Like I realized now that I was like, yo, white people, stop being fragile. I'm gonna smack you, and I was like, oh wow, that's actually really aggressive.
I told you.
But it's like
you do that. You do that.
Yo, I don't mean to though, bro.
I think people need to remember it's okay to be uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable isn't the worst fucking thing in the world.
It's
and
not.
I was saying before, like, I got a little like up in the air about it because of my headache and I'm a little like just all over the place. So I was like repeating myself a lot. But I have no problem with being uncomfy. Like being uncomfy is just how it is. Like, yeah, I'm uncomfy, but that's okay because A, I'm learning. B, it's not my business. And I was about to say, am I up to C or 3? I can't remember.
C, you're up to C.
Thank you. And C, fuck me. And C, this is how we survive. We're, as a Western culture, so used to being comfortable that being uncomfy is such an un-okay thing. No, just be uncomfy, There are people out there who are uncomfy every goddamn day. Like, there are people out there sleeping on wooden beds under tinfoil friggin' blankets. They're fucking uncomfy, but they're alive. So don't, just because you can't sit through a conversation, nah, fuck you. Push through.
Because I think because Claire was the subject of the subject, I kind of bit my tongue about it. But it's like comfort is kind of like a result of your privilege. And then when you say you're uncomfortable, it's like you're showing that. You know what I mean?
And I know this. Because
it's like, you're only uncomfortable because you had the privilege of being comfortable. Yeah. So like you were 100%. in a space where like you didn't have to worry about that because we were more or less living in a world that catered to you. And then when we stepped out of that, that's when you became uncomfortable. And so that's what I meant when I was like talking about, not just Claire, but like if anybody was white and listening to the show, like that uncomfortability
don't have empathy
is
for me. I'm just uncomfy.
No, yeah.
Don't have empathy for me.
I'm just uncomfy. Who gives a shit? Like,
and it's okay for that. It's okay
that's
for
why I
that's
got
the only
worried,
way she
though.
like. That's the only way she or me or anybody else learns how not to step on somebody else's toes or
No,
whatever.
I mean,
you know.
progress requires being uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's what growth is.
And I'm learning.
Yeah,
that's why it's called
I
exactly.
didn't
growing
really learn
pains.
anything today because
Yeah.
I'm kind of in agony, but I normally learning. I said I didn't learn anything today, and I can't remember what you guys talked about because I'm in pain. But
No, that's okay.
normally, I'm learning.
Yeah. Learning is, I think it's, anyway. Yeah.
I'm learning. I say learning all the time. It's an inside joke between me and Ben, and then I forget other people don't know.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Let's. I was going to talk about Juneteenth and Black pessimism, but we don't really have that much time
not at
for it.
all.
So I'm going to be.
Logan, I'm not staying for that conversation,
I know.
bro. I'm
we're
sorry.
I'm going to be really brief.
Love Juneteenth. Can't wait for this Saturday, but
I'm
like,
going to be real brief and then wrap up the show because Juneteenth, I just want to talk about Juneteenth for a second. Juneteenth is the holiday in which Black people were emancipated, and so they are actually freed as slaves, quote unquote. And
wait, Logan. Wait.
What?
I could have sworn Juneteenth wasn't about freedom. It was about slaves discovering that they were free. They were already free, and yeah. So see, we
Isn't
shouldn't even.
that-
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Juneteenth
Because
wasn't
I
even
thought-
about
because
we
when I-
free.
Because when I tried to do my proper research before the show, because
We
I
can
know
hold
what
off till next
Juneteenth
week.
is. I know what
Yeah.
Juneteenth is. Well, we can't because Juneteenth is Saturday.
So
that's-
we could still talk about what our experience was and how we felt about it. The fuck you mean?
because I know I'm not going to do shit on Juneteenth. That's why.
So we could definitely talk about it next week if we want. But no. I mean,
Because
seriously.
I'm not used to doing anything on Juneteenth.
No,
which
I know.
brings me
Other
up to
than
my-
being black, which
Wait,
is we
yeah,
celebrate
that's
Juneteenth
under-
every day. The fuck you talking about?
Anyways, my point
No,
is,
wait. Before you continue, but I'm serious. I'm pretty sure Juneteenth isn't about freeing slaves.
Is it when the slaves were free, or is it when?
No, I'm pretty sure it's when.
Hold on, when they actually found out that they were free and they could just walk off. Like,
Yes. That I believe is what the actual celebration of Juneteenth is.
I'm hoping that's
Because
the one.
13th Amendment was the exact date. History that I should know that I
It's
don't.
almost like you have a phone that you can Google it on.
Shut up. I'm on my computer about to Google, okay? Why don't you stop yelling at me for the thing that I'm going to do for you? Jeez.
Stop yelling at me.
Shut up. No one likes you. Oh, okay. So Juneteenth, dating back to 1865, commemorates the day when 250,000 slaves in the state of Texas, because of course it would be Texas, which became the last bastion for slavery during the final days of Civil War, were declared free by the U.S. Army.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yes, and you were right.
Yeah, but it's very specific because I thought it was like all the
because
slaves.
I thought,
But
that's what I thought
it's
too.
very, very
But
specific
because,
in
and
this-
that's
in
why I
this
put it in
moment.
air quotes because I know that when the 13th Amendment passed and then like the slaves were free, like not all the states were like, nah,
No,
like, you
yeah,
know, like
exactly. That happens.
Some,
For real,
some
for
of
real.
them were like, nah, we still keeping them. You know what I mean? Like they don't know. Like that's how it was. You know,
Master, I heard we free. Get your ass back on the plantation.
you didn't hear shit.
All right. You want to hear the sound of this whip?
They was like, you didn't hear shit about a damn thing.
Dang. For real, and that's why it's even sweeter in some sense.
But no,
'cause it's-
that's good because look at Claire. She's like, why don't you edit that? That should be an edit.
well, don't talk on it too long because I still think we should talk about it.
I'm
next week
trying
as
to
well.
get out of here, and you won't let me. You want to come in with your facts and shit. Anyway,
I know, that's why I said not to do it, bro. You thought I wasn't gonna talk about it? You thought I said no?
All I
'cause-
wanted to say about Juneteenth was that what happened was the Senate passed law or whatever saying that like Juneteenth is going to be a national holiday, and it's only
right.
that the House has to pass it, and then it'll be a national holiday, right? Which good for us. It's going to be a national holiday. It's not like people haven't been asking for that shit, and of course it's always late. But listen. I take what I can get sometimes with this bum ass country. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Here's what happened. I saw the headline. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then I'm on Twitter when I read this. I scroll down and it's like all these black people that, have a real platform, I'm jealous.
Who are like a real platform.
Yeah, who have like, they have actual followers and shit. Complaining about, Juneteenth and stuff. And it's just like, listen, guys, can we be happy? I don't mean that can we be content. I mean that can we be happy? Can I have something? Can I have something I'm just happy about sometimes? Like I get a holiday. It's a black people holiday. Let me be happy with my bum ass little black people holiday. Like, damn. Like, I just want to be happy with my black people holiday. Then you can tell me about all the shit that white people not giving me after my holiday, but not the second sooner. Let me be happy about Juneteenth becoming a holiday, because it wasn't like every Juneteenth, the same people who were complaining about Juneteenth becoming a holiday weren't every year before complaining that Juneteenth wasn't a holiday. So I'm just asking, can we this Juneteenth come together and have a good Juneteenth together?
Okay, Logan. Yes, fine. Fine. We're not going to have the argument at the goddamn cookout. We're just going to enjoy the yams.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. And that's how...
Can we go home now?
And children, that's how Logan united black people around Juneteenth.
Angry, I'm the one who's fanging for a nap. What are you fanging for?
No, it's... I don't know. I think I was just in the... I was in the moment. I was in the character.
No, because you were complaining. I was only saying because you were complaining before about it taking so long too.
No,
like, I just want to go home.
No, in terms of time, we just like.
Anyways, let's wrap this show up.
The stuff I got to do tonight.
Yes, I know.
I was talking to Claire this time because she seems to think I don't do stuff.
I know you do stuff. I was commenting earlier today about how much shit you do and how gross it was.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
Okay, guys.
Thanks.
Let's get out of here. Claire, do you have anything that you want to say to the people before you get out of here?
Just thank you for listening, and I'm sorry. Honestly, I feel like I'm always just going through something on here, and I shouldn't be here, but it's okay because Logan asked me to, so I'm here.
No,
so
you should definitely be here. No, you don't.
I don't know, because if I'm not concussed, I'm angry, and if I'm not angry, I'm going through something.
Claire, that's
always
just
apologizing.
Claire, that's what we in the business call content.
Also, it's the blues, and black people still love the blues.
Shut up, man.
I mean, most people love the blues, right?
We not.
Sorry. Okay. That's all right.
Anyway, back to that portion where I didn't say anything.
Yes.
You're just being like, I love the blues. I'm like, no.
I was like, no.
Fuck me. Yeah, and don't be scared to be uncomfy. Being uncomfy is a natural part of life, and we've been too comfy for too long. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking to. Damn. So I love everybody.
Ratata at your fitted, signed Claire.
I love Mitchell and Logan, and they're my friends. And like, if I can be uncomfy for 20 minutes so they can just be themselves and have fun, I don't give a fuck. That's what we do. That's who we are. So have a good week.
I wanted to go home, not cry in a corner.
Can I finish my bit before you get to do your bit?
Yeah, you're going to have your bit.
This is different. This ain't about you right now. This is my bit. My diva moment. Leave me alone.
My apologies.
Anywho, as I was saying, I hope everybody has a really good week. And you take care of your mental health, and you stay happy and healthy. And if you can't be happy, dude, I get it. So just be healthy. All right. Bye.
Mitch, would you have anything that you want to say to the people?
Now it's your turn.
Thanks, Claire. I'll
didn't realize.
I'll keep it in mind. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Keep your masculinity positive, or I might show up at your place. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I said it.
Toxic as fuck.
Yeah, toxic as fuck, ain't it? But I mean, a toxic and a toxic makes a positive?
No.
Nah, you're right.
No.
Yeah, you just end up with
That
sludge. You just end up with sludge.
Ultra toxic. You need a
Yeah, you just made sludge. So that was out of turn, out of character for me. But so like I was saying, keep your masculinity positive, or I will fuck you up. So do that.
You just doubled down.
He did again.
So colorism,
Learn about it if you don't already know. Let's represent our communities. And like Claire said, it's okay to be uncomfortable. That's what growth needs sometimes. And if you can't do that, you might not be willing to grow. Might not be growing the way you need. And that's about it, man. Otherwise, peace, love, and blessings. Episode 10, motherfuckers. Episode 10, motherfuckers! Mitchell out.
Okay.
I'm so glad I turned down my computer.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so funny because like when you edit it down and like you edit all the sounds and stuff, like the sounds even out. So we're like yelling on Mitch constantly to like be quiet, and then like when you listen back to it, he's quiet because like we don't want you to have your eardrums blown out, so everything's equalized and normalized. And he's not quiet.
And he don't give a fuck about us. I've said I got a concussion and a headache 12 times. Did that stop him? No.
Was I that loud today? I wasn't like yelling as often.
That's that toxic masculinity. Men just doing whatever the fuck they want to women out here. To women, man. They don't even care, man.
So you want me to cry later? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
you should.
I'll do that. Yeah, you're right. I should. I'm sorry.
Before we get out of here, Mitch,
what's up?
How about you rearranging your whole room so that the ghosts don't come in your bed?
So correction. So in the space that I live in, a room opened up and I upgraded. So you're not looking at my old space. New room, who this?
I love how your bed is nowhere near your door, though.
Yes,
it isn't, and that happened for a specific purpose and reason.
Coming through.
Okay, so you didn't have to call me out like that, but yeah, that's entirely facts. But yeah, new room, new space.
Listen, this podcast is a strong one. Okay, Mitch moved rooms and put his bed on the other side. He's like,
look at that.
He said, listen, I'm going to give my friend the haunted room and start all over.
Okay, so none of the rooms are haunted, though. None of the rooms are haunted, so we're clear.
Except yours, where you let all the demons in because of the bed being on the wrong side.
You shut the closet before you left, so you were just like, you can have those.
I mean... No, I honestly didn't do that. My closet has a door and it's open. It's ajar right now, but like you can't see it anymore, so there's no problem.
Fuck you, y'all can't come in anymore.
I didn't set it up this way. This is how I was gonna get set up regardless. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you love the show, please share the show and follow the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else you get your podcast at. I'm gonna start doing this bit in the beginning too, because I feel like y'all don't be listening to me, and y'all need to listen to this shit. Okay.
All right.
I'm so like aggro today. I don't know why.
Somebody is aggressive.
I know.
Be
what else should
aggressive.
I say?
Be aggressive.
If you have any art you want to share with the show, if you have any songs you want to share with the show, please share them with the show at themilkandtoast @themilkandtoast@gmail.com. What else do I got for you today? Not much. There's something I'm forgetting though, Claire. Something I'm forgetting. Besides liking. Oh yeah, like us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, like us on Instagram, and all that good stuff. That way you can see all the little clips we post about, whether it's just a clip of us talking about something serious, or a clip like the clip we posted today about Mitch and Jason Momoa. And that's all I'll say about that. Yeah. Other than that, I hope everybody has a good Juneteenth. I hope everybody has a good week, a good evening, a good morning, wherever you're listening to the show and whenever you're listening to the show. Just have a good time. I'm your host, Logan. Say bye to the people, Claire.
Bye, people.
Say bye to the people, Mitch.
Goodbye. Dun-dun-dun.
This has been the Milk and Toast Podcast. And